stepping because it ain't gonna stop. Now run the tape.
So again, my name is Tony Sturdivant. I was one of the individuals that put in a FOIA request to see the video. What I saw was starkly different from the testimony that I heard given in the trial. There were 6 kids that walked up, 2 splintered off. I guess that part of was introduced in the trial where they went to deflect the coach. The other 4 walked directly to Carmelo Anthony. There was a brief conversation, I'd say maybe 20, 30 seconds, and from there, a scuffle ensued. It didn't last long. Carmelo backed up to the canopy. He looked one way, looked to the left, and flew down those bleachers. Now, this is the video that was presented to us. This is the question that I have, though. Why wasn't that video presented in court? And is it the true video? Because, again, it's starkly different from the testimony given in the trial. Carmelo Anthony flew down those bleachers, fell at the bottom of the bleachers, got up, took off. It was maybe 2 or 3 kids that you could see kind of give chase, but Carmelo was gone, so they weren't even going to put a finger on him and touch him. Again, there was a scuffle that ensued at the top of the bleachers, and Carmelo got it there. But I don't know why that was not brought up in court. I don't know why that was shown. I don't know if the ISD gave us a bogus-ass video. I don't know, but that's what I saw.
Several people have claimed that additional video footage exists in the Carmelo Anthony case that has not been publicly released. Some believe the footage could provide more context about what happened and may differ from certain witness accounts presented in court. Make that make sense. Like I always say, in the words of Johnny Taylor, they running out of lies, getting hard to think of an alibi. See, them saxophones starting to get louder and louder because it all makes sense now, bro. That trial lasted 7 to 8 days because they know eventually the real footage will come out. And if I'm lying, in my comment section, tell me I'm lying. The Metcalf family, look, they ran straight to the media after the stabbing, bro, because they wanted to control the narrative. They wanted to cover up the truth. But we'll talk about that later on in this video. So before I spaz out, the father, Jeff Metcalf, he finally stopped pretending like he was a Christian. And now he's showing his true colors. Man, run the tape.
Kayla, you drunk? What'd you do to that boy to make him stab somebody? My God, what kind of mother are you? Day after it happened, how many lies did you sit and type up on your keyboard, you big keyboard warrior? You a big tough man. You still live in Baton Rouge? Remember you said you'd come to Frisco, buddy? You're supposed to find me. I told you we could sit down and talk. That's all you do. Talk, Mr. Squeaky Clean. You're the only one in your family without a damn record. I guess that's something to brag about in your culture. You people hang your hat on the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Lord, I'm good.
Let me make one up. Y'all can let me make something racist up so y'all can go viral. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such this little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about Watermelon Felon? How's that one strike you? So don't complain when shit doesn't go your way when you don't do anything about it. Don't bitch because Trump's president because you didn't vote. You're going to support someone who does something against the law. You're encouraging and saying it's okay because he's a certain color. Oh, you've got more melanin than me. Ooh, so you get more privileges, more entitlement? Because 400 years ago, someone actually sold you to us, and we took you over here and put you to work. And then we had a civil war to free your ass.
But the wrath of God.
And now you want to talk shit? Oh, I've been so oppressed. You couldn't even vote 1960. Look how far you've come.
Jerry.
Look at all the free shit we give you.
Jerry, man. Dave.
You're not oppressed.
You're just around the corner.
Since the beginning of the case, Jeff Metcalf has continued to publicly criticize Carmelo and his family. while Carmelo's family has largely focused on the legal proceedings and appeal process. Make that make sense? And in the words of Jackie Neal, see, our love keeps growing higher. That's the way we roll. Mr. Jeff, you will never get to feel that family love again, and that's why you're really mad. Your sons spanked you and broke your arm. Your ex-wife, she hates your stinking guts. Your son was a bully and it cost him. You're alone. Your hairline's uneven. You look dusty. Nah, for real. Your son, Austin Metcalf, was a criminal just like you. And you can say whatever you want to say about Carmelo and his family. At least he gets to talk to his family. At least Carmelo still gets to see his family. And if you feel like I'm tripping, in my comment section, tell me I'm tripping. See, the Metcalf family, they may not be in the physical prison, but from what I see, that mental and spiritual prison they going through is kicking their ass. Matter of fact, let's travel back in time right quick. Check this out. Collin County, like many areas in Texas during the Jim Crow era, existed during a time when Black Americans often faced racial discrimination in the courts, exclusion from juries, and unequal treatment under the law. Historical records also show that Black defendants sometimes face threats from hostile mobs gathered outside jails and courthouses, raising concerns about whether justice was applied fairly. Make that make sense. And ain't it crazy how the more things change, the more they stay the same? And in the words of the main ingredient, everybody plays the fool sometime. There's no exception to the rule. It's crazy. These people still think they can fool us, bruh. Talking about it's not about race. What you talking about, Willis? If it's not about race, why did everybody in Collin County lie on Carmelo Anthony? If it's not about race, why did the trial only last for 7 to 8 days? If it's not about race, why did Carmelo's attorneys, bro, Toby Shook and Mike Howard, why didn't they talk about Carmelo being jumped in the footage that all the new witnesses are talking about? I can go on and on, bro. See, Collin County is the same county that allowed a mob of Caucasian men, a mob of white men to break inside their jail just to unalive a Black man, bro. And no one was ever punished. No one was ever arrested. So you telling me it's not about race? I keep telling y'all, bro, with these people, the game is always cold. Many major criminal cases have a gap between the verdict and sentencing, sometimes lasting weeks or even months. That's why some observers were surprised that Carmelo Anthony was reported convicted and sentenced on the same day. A timeline that is less common in high-profile cases that draw widespread public attention. Make that make sense. And y'all already know, bro, before I end this video, I have to always speak from my heart. Before I end this video, I have to always speak from my heart. Look, let's break this thing down and use our common sense. This happened back in 2025 at a high school track meet. Now you telling me none of those kids during the incident and after the incident recorded anything, bro? No reactions or anything? These kids go to sleep with their phone, bro. They go to the bathroom with their phone, bro. They eat with their phone, bro. If I'm lying in my comment section, tell me I'm lying. And then the Metcalf family, the same day, the day after all that, bro, they went to every media outlet, bro, to control the narrative, man. They tried to cover up the truth from the jump, bro. And look, this how I know I'm not tripping. You got Caucasian people in Texas calling out their own people. You got Caucasian people in Texas calling out the racism in Texas, man. Because Collin County is a sundown county, man. And they think that they can run the same play over and over and over again. But guess what? It's 4th down and 5. And we calling a blitz. If you know, you know. See, eventually, that footage is going to come out. That video will come out, bruh, and it's going to be all over social media. That's why they rush that case, man. Because they know the real video hasn't been shown to everybody yet. But it's coming. I promise you. So look, during all this chaos, y'all, don't get mad because I keep telling y'all that ancestors don't sleep. I'm out, bruh. But before I go, here's another witness. Run the tape.
Hello, Anthony. My name is T. And when I went to see the video, they asked if you want to see it from either 2 minutes before the stabbing or 11 minutes before. So I chose 11 minutes. From the moment he pressed play, Carmelo Anthony was already sitting up underneath that canopy. And he was sitting there for at least 8 to 9.5 minutes. You see, well, I saw a boy in a black hoodie go over to him first, and then they left out of the tent, and then you see coming across the field was another 6 boys. When they got to the bleachers, one he went out of frame, and the other one sat at the bottom. But the remaining 4, they went directly to Carmelo Anthony, and like T said before, it was a brief conversation, and then all you see is commotion. And we know from the interviews that Hunter did, we know that Hunter was, in fact, up underneath that tent. The next thing you see, you can see Carmelo, in the midst of them assaulting him, you can see Carmelo trying to back out, but he gets pulled back forward. The next thing you see is Carmelo, he comes shooting out the back, but he's still not standing. And he had to like kind of crab crawl backwards, and he had to like jerk away from them because they still had a hold of his hoodie. He goes up a couple bleachers and he's looking around for which way to go. He runs diagonally down the bleachers and then he falls. At the time of him falling, that's when I noticed another 3 boys coming down the bleachers chasing after him. But once Carmelo got up, he took off. You didn't see him for the rest of the video. At no point in that video do you see Hunter holding his brother. At no point in that video do you see those boys ever going back to the tent and sitting down. That was all a lie. And I also have questions. I don't know how the defense did not play that video. Because when you see that video, it was self-defense. Carmelo was only 5'8", 130-something pounds, and Austin and Hunter Metcalf were 6'1", 220-something pounds. So for people to say that he should have used his hands, people can die from fights, from people using their hands. And that's all I'm going to say for right now.
No fear.